Hi, welcome to this week at Ask Total Health, and this week we're going to try and help you prepare sensibly for endurance races or any kind of race you've got coming up, anything from a 5k to a long distance quadrathlon. We want to just give you some ideas on how to physically prepare for that. We are going to cover some exercises for running conditioning and cycling conditioning, so they're the two most popular ones, and we're going to talk about how you fuel for a race, again, be it a shorter race or an endurance race. But at the moment we're just going to talk about how you get the most out of your body whilst preparing for an event. So the first thing is we have to manage our body and we have to avoid injuries, because you're going to be performing some kind of movement like running or cycling or swimming or whatever it is over a long period of time. You're performing the same movements consistently over and over again. That creates a lot of imbalances within the body, and that creates a lot of kind of wear and tear on the same areas as well. So we have to make sure that we avoid injury. I mean, it's the most common thing within endurance athletes. They're always battling an injury, or they're always trying to avoid it. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, you want to make sure your posture and mobility is good. A lot of people don't make this correlation of improving your posture and either performing better in sport or races or avoiding injury. But basically, the worse your posture is, the more energy it takes to move, the more strain there is going through the spine or loading through muscles, the more things start to come out of balance, the more load that starts going through your knee or your ankle or your back when you're running. If you're cycling and you've got forward head posture, there's a lot of load going through your lower back. So the stronger your posture is and the stronger your postural muscles are, the better, and the less energy you're going to use up and the less strain your body is going to be under. So that's the key point. And being mobile as well, especially if you're performing something like running or swimming, you're going to need a lot of mobility in certain areas. So just a general mobility program is going to help, and it's just going to help realign the body and iron out any kind of aches and pains as well. Again, we have stacks of mobility exercises on our YouTube channel. Strength in key areas, again, very important that we're not just using the big dominant muscles, because again they become a little bit too strong, a little bit too dominant, and then some of our smaller muscle groups, especially the postural muscles, will switch off. So really important that you get the glutes fired up, yeah, especially if you're going to be running. You work the upper back, so you're really strong to the upper back postural muscles, yeah, so you're going to be held in a good upright posture and hold your structure well. Core muscles are strong. Whenever we move, if we're moving correctly, we should fire from the core first, whether you're running, whether you're kicking a football, whether you're cycling a bike, walking, whatever it is, we should fire from here. So get your core strong in all the planes of motion, bending to the side, flexing forward and back, and rotation, and sometimes combining those movements together as well, so get a strong core. Key thing, especially for runners, ankle and knee stability. So many of us get caught out because of ankle stability or ankle strength. Yeah, when you plant your foot and you're running, the load goes through the ankle first, and if that's not stable, then you're going to shoot some kind of unnecessary pain through to the knee or through to the hip or back. So get the ankles stable, get the knees stable. Yeah, don't just spend time doing lunges and squats and stuff like that without doing some of the kind of lighter load stability work on the ankles and knees. Do a little cross training, because your training is going to have to be repetitive, and you know, if you're training for a marathon, you're going to have to do a lot of miles on the road basically to get that specific conditioning. That's great, we understand that, but sometimes people do too much. One, you can accumulate miles, so you don't have to run 26 miles a lot of the time before you train for a marathon. You accumulate them throughout the week and throughout the months. And also you can put the miles on the legs by doing some specific endurance circuits. So you're doing leg circuits that actually give you, a little bit extra muscular endurance, because 9 times out of 10 people say they fatigue through the legs rather than their cardiovascular system running out, because once your cardio fitness gets to a certain level, you're using that same energy system all the way throughout because you're consistently working at that pace, but you may feel the legs burn out or whatever. So doing a little bit of cross training from time to time to take that load off the body but still keep working your fitness. And probably one of the key ones to tie it all together, work on your breathing control. The more controlled your breath is, the more relaxed you'll be, the less energy you'll use because of that. The more controlled your breath is, the more oxygen you'll get in. When you get more oxygen in, you're going to break down your nutrition a lot better and using nutrients, which is going to be vital throughout an endurance event or a hard training session as well. It's going to help you find a kind of natural rhythm. Now, you hear about athletes talking about the zone all the time, and we all want to get to that higher state and get to the zone. That really comes if you can be in complete control of your breath and you let that dictate the flow and rhythm of your body, things start happening naturally. You know, you do have those kind of slightly out of body experiences when you're running or you're cycling or whatever, because you're so engaged inwards, and the most natural and the most important thing is your breath, because if you stop taking a breath in, then you're not going to be able to run any further. Now that's slightly exaggerated, but if you shorten your breath, you're not as efficient with your breath, then your body's not going to work as efficient. Oxygen is the most vital aspect here. So many people look at all the different sports and energy drinks and stuff they take in to keep their fuel going. That is obviously important, but focus on the breath first and how you can expand your oxygen intake and how you can utilise that better. And that is probably the first key one to focus on and combine the rest of it in. So if you have any questions on any of this, or you would like any more information, we're happy to provide that. Just email us info@totalhealth.uk.com, and we'll be back next week with fueling for endurance events.